Сәлем достар. Бүгін подкасттың эксклюзивті шығарылымы. Бүгін бізде қонақта Кен Виланд мырза. Можете немного рассказать о себе?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to participate in this. It's a nice honor to be here. My name is Ken Wieland. I'm the director of the School of Nutritional Sciences and Wellness at the University of Arizona. I've been there at Arizona for about 2 years now. I was at the professor at the University of Illinois for about 20 years, and as a professor and doing research, and really a lot of my research is focused on. We do a lot of exercise, nutrition-related interventions in patients with chronic kidney disease, particularly patients with chronic kidney failure that are on dialysis. A really sick population, and we're just trying to do some things to get them healthier, moving more, and eating better to improve their health and quality of life. But that's pretty most of my background and research that I've been doing for 20 years that I'm continuing to do today.
Құрметті көрермендер, подкаст ағылшын тілінде болып жатыр, бірақ сіздер түсінеді деп ойлаймыз. Бірақ сұрақтардың барлығын мен орыс тілде қоятын болам. Сол үшін барлық назарларыңыз осы мағлұматта болсын. Вопрос такой, да? Почему международное образование сегодня так важно для студентов?
So just to let you know, I have two kids myself, and they have both done study abroad programs. My son did one in Vienna, Austria, about a year ago. My daughter in Australia, in Perth, Australia, and I just saw the growth that they had from being in those programs was amazing. Just introduced them to a whole, different types of people, different cultural experiences that really supplemented their education, and they came back just much more mature people that I think were more serious about learning as well, but just opened up their curiosity as much as anything else. And I think that's one of the best things about these programs.
Өте күшті мағлұмат алып жатырмыз. Мына жақта мынандай сұрақ пайда болады да. Вот и условно, какую роль играет именно сейчас международный диплом, именно программа двойного диплома на рынке, в мире и так далее?
I think in most cases they're going to be very complementary degrees. The degree programs are usually somewhat similar on paper, but the perspectives that you get are much different from the two different institutions. And so just as an example, one of the degree programs that I want to develop here is a food science degree program or nutritional science degree program. Could do several, but you all don't have something exactly like that, but you have some degrees that our degree programs in Arizona would complement and make the individuals just more well-rounded in a particular area.
Good. Вот вы находитесь сейчас уже 3-й день в Козубаев University. Какие качества студентов вас больше впечатлили?
That is easy. The energy and enthusiasm. Just really that's not just with the students, but that's with the faculty, that's with everybody here. But the students in particular, they're really excited about the collaboration that they have with the University of Arizona, and just seeing it in their faces and seeing it in the videos and from the discussions I've had with them. It's nice to see that level of enthusiasm and energy. It's something that makes us as faculty really want to make this work because we see how important it is to them.
Вот вы проживаете, то есть в Америке, постоянно видите американских студентов. Вот сейчас, то есть вы увидели казахстанских студентов. Есть ли какие-то отличия между ними, именно казахстанских студентов и американских студентов?
Good question. So, and I don't want to label all American students like this, but I think that a lot of students that come to our universities, it's more of a rite of passage in the United States to go to school, and some come for different reasons, social reasons. The students I've met here seem to be very serious about their education. Not that we have very serious students as well. The United States, of course, fantastic students, but we have a lot. I think it's more of an expectation. Again, I use the term rite of passage for a lot of American students to go to school, not all, but for many. And I think the average Kazakhstani student is that I've seen a little bit limited experience, but very serious about the opportunity, and they really want to take advantage of it. And that's really nice to see. And that feeds into that energy and enthusiasm that I talked about, and the curiosity, again, that a lot of students possess in the States also, but I think it's a little more elevated here to some extent.
Окей. Давайте вот перейдем к науке, потому что я знаю то, что вы большую как бы часть своей жизни уделили именно науке. Почему сейчас студентам важно заниматься именно наукой?
Yeah, research it's a type of experiential learning where you put the things that you're, discussing in the classroom to practice, and I think it just provides a more well-rounded education. The type of research I do a lot of clinical research where we're working directly with patient populations. So instead of just talking about those patients and concerns that we have with the patients with kidney failure, for example, we can talk about in the classroom. But when you meet them and you work with them and experience the things, we're trying to get them to move more and eat better. And you see how difficult in the classroom, you can talk about why that's important. In the research, when you're working with the patients, type of patient-facing research we do, you see how challenging it is to implement the types of things that we talk about in the classroom. The same can be said for basic research, where you're working more in a lab with, you can read research papers in the classroom and stuff like that. When you actually try to perform the research, you see how difficult and challenging it is to do the types of experimentation that you read about. So it's just a different type of learning, really different type of learning, and it kind of elevates your understanding of what you're trying to accomplish and why.
Классно. Вопрос такой, лично уже от себя интересно стало. А вот вы, как человек-профессионал, вот в этом, в науке уже давно, какие есть 3 момента, которые могут привлечь студентов заниматься именно наукой?
Yeah, I think the main thing is you have to be curious about the world. And we, as scientists, we are all very curious about the world. We see a problem and we want to fix it. And so I think, to have that really driving curiosity to understand how the world works, that's one. And then having the innate desire to want to change, make positive change, is a related one, but somewhat different. But the third thing I think that I really always try to stress with my students, the thing that distinguishes the students who are, kind of average to middling with a lot of things versus those who really are excellent, is you have to have a willingness, ability to read about the topic, and not just go to class and learn, but learn outside on your own, and have that desire, that drive to do that, because that's what makes people exceptional. Everybody can go to class and make an A or a B in a class, but it's those that really love to learn and want to learn more than they're learning just in the classroom. Having that innate drive, that's the characteristic that really separates a lot of students.
Окей. Все понятно. Здесь тоже мы перейдем уже к вопросам именно, опять же, этот подкаст полностью для студентов, и вы благодаря этому подкасту можете получить очень много полезной информации. И тут у меня вопрос такой. Какие сейчас, на данный момент, именно в обучении, в студенческой жизни, да, какие вот именно hard и soft скиллы нужны для современного студента?
Really, I'll talk about the soft skills as much as anything, because I think that's the ones that are underappreciated by most of the students, and the communication skills. There are so many students that come to us today that have, they've been on their phones their whole life, and they their ability to communicate is not probably what it should be. And I've seen changes over the course of my son in particular. When he started school, he joined a professional society, and they were really focused on these soft skills, the communication, looking people in the eye and shaking their hand, and showing curiosity and having an engaged conversation. That's one of the soft skills. The leadership skills are really important, and being a good team member, but also understanding how to lead and how to have you know, be a part of a team, but go above and beyond in areas where you can excel, and showing that leadership is really important. So those are, I think, the most important things. I mean, the hard skills, just, you know, I'm in a science field, so basic understanding of math and science, I think those are things that are really important. The ability to you know, critically think is more of a soft skill, I guess. But I want to focus on that one for a second, because I think that's where AI, we all know the influence that AI is having in the world today, but that's going to be really more important than ever for people to understand, the students to understand how to, we're all going to be using AI, but how to critically assess what the product you're getting when you use AI. It's going to separate a lot of people. It's going to be so very important, because there's so many assignments that we give now where we know the students are using it, but are they using it correctly? So we need to really focus on getting students to understand how to use it more effectively, and that's what's going to separate the good and the bad students in many cases.
Супер, супер. Как услышали вы в ответе, мистер Кен отметил очень важные скиллы. Это вот, я тоже это поддерживаю. Это лидерские качества, это коммуникация, это вот нетворкинг. А сейчас именно в наше время это очень как бы важные скиллы. И еще подметили именно искусственный интеллект. Даже когда было послание президента, он тоже отмечал эти как бы факты. Нужно как бы изучать сейчас искусственный интеллект, потому что сейчас век искусственного интеллекта. Очень классные ответы, мне понравились. Теперь такой вопрос. Опять же, для студентов, какие вы бы советы дали для будущих абитуриентов, которые нас смотрят, и для студентов, которые только поступили, и для студентов, которые вот сейчас уже как бы заканчивают, ну, как бы на 4-м курсе?
Well, I think for both, I mean, the advice would be somewhat similar, is when you're thinking about what you want to do for a career, is you do your homework. I mean, really go out of your way to find people that, if you think you're passionate about a particular topic, whether you think you want to study sciences or the humanities or whatever it is, talk to people in the field and understand what their career is like. What are they really doing? What do you need to be successful? But also really understanding what they're going to be doing on a day-to-day basis, because I think that's, there's some fields that sound great, but the day-to-day, what your life will be like, what your career will be like, is not something that's going to be very satisfying for people. And then in other fields that it'll be the opposite. So, but you're not going to know that until you do your homework to figure out really what it is that sparks that passion in you, that's going to make you successexpul. And you're not going to find that out unless you go talk to people and try to get, internship experiences and different experiences that are going to allow you to get a better understanding of what a particular field is. That doesn't happen without actually doing things. You can think about it all day long, but you have to actually go talk to people and do what they're doing in order to understand what that's going to be like. Your career is a long, you have a 40, 50-year career. And so you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. With that said, if you get into a field, you're going to choose a major, you're going to choose a career, be prepared to change. It's okay if you don't pick things right the first time. I transferred I went to in my first year, I was at University of South Carolina. I was studying, I was a biology major, and I transferred my second year to another school. I was a chemistry major. I transferred my third year. So I transferred twice in 2 years. I changed my major 6 times. And it was the best thing I ever did, because I didn't settle for something I was in. I got the experiences, and I ended up, it was the best decision I ever made to keep trying to change until I found something I was really passionate about.
Okay. И такой, может быть, последний вопрос в нашем подкасте. А сейчас я вот только недавно пришел как бы в мае здесь работы, и понимаю то, что сотрудничество именно Козыбаев университета и вот с университетом Аризоны сейчас, потихоньку превращается на высокий уровень, то есть идет к высокому уровню, потому что вот вы недавно отправили студентов, первых наших студентов, учиться в Аризону. А как вы думаете, какое будущее у этого как бы большого нашего проекта? Что дальше вы ожидаете?
First of all, I think I'm new to this program myself, but just being here this year, I see the energy and the passion from the faculty on both sides. So with that, we have some concerns. There's always going to be financial concerns about how we set the program up and how it's going to be sustainable. And those are problems. They're real concerns, but we're going to find solutions to these things. I think that the future is strong. Because we have those passions on both sides. It's very obvious to me that the faculty that came to Kazakhstan, several have been here multiple years. They love it. They want to see the program succeed. And the people on the Kazakhstan, the NKU side, same thing. They're putting a lot of energy into this, and they're not doing it just because it's fun or whatever. They're doing it because they believe in it. And so when you have two groups of people that believe in something so strongly, they're going to find a way to make it work. And I'm here, and I was unsure about what this was all about, really, as even a couple days ago. But I'm add me to the list of people who are passionate about this, and I want to see programs grow. I've got 2 or 3 different curricular programs I want to potentially grow, dual degree programs. I also have some research interests that I think are real possibilities to do some of my research in Kazakhstan.
Окей. Спасибо большое. Thank you. На этом наш подкаст завершается. Мы будем для вас приглашать вот таких вот экспертов. Так что смотрите наши подкасты. Всем пока. Все, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.